Are you ready to dairy-free your mind? This summer, melt away your dairy-free expectations with So Delicious dairy-free frozen desserts. Enjoy mind-blowing flavors like salted caramel cluster, chocolate cookies and cream, cookie dough, and more. For over 35 years, So Delicious has been cranking up the flavor with show-stopping products that are 100% dairy-free, certified vegan by Vegan Action, and are so unbelievably creamy, your taste buds will do a double take. Dairy-free your mind. Visit SoDeliciousDairyFree.com.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Pro Savings Days doorbuster deals are on at Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members save an additional $120 on a GE 21.9 cubic foot top freezer refrigerator. Plus, members save $70 on a Bosch hammer drill, now only $99. Not a Pro Rewards member? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/23 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Welcome to
4Kids Flashback. Hello and welcome to 4Kids Flashback LookBack. See what I did there, Steve?
My name is... It was the name of the Zoom call, and I was like, that's clever.
Oh, it showed up in the Zoom invite?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, we've had the flashback, we've had the talkbacks, and now we have the lookbacks. Sorry, my name is Tara Sands, joined by...
Steve Yurko.
Steve. Sorry, guys, my voice is a little raspy today. I was yelling at a convention all weekend. So apologies for that. Our look-back episode. Yes, yeah,
I would use it if you have to play any like little kids in the show or something.
Yeah. I don't today. I played what did I do? I was a queen today, I believe.
You're always a queen.
I'm always a queen. Was she? She's a queen. Is she a princess? No, she's a queen. But no, nothing. I think you guys will probably ever see. And so this look back episode is. So we're unofficially. I'm putting in air quotes. Ending the podcast. Which means that we just won't have regular every Wednesday episodes. If someone does come forward and wants to do an interview that makes sense for the show.
Comes forward, it's so formal.
Sounds formal. Well, I kind of...
Admitting to a crime.
Or they remember something and they're like, you know what, I actually have this great story I want to tell, or whatever it is, or like a couple people together want to be interviewed. We're so up for it. I'm just not going to reach out anymore necessarily because I've kind of reached out to everyone that I think has is a puzzle piece. I've been asked about certain people that some of the jobs are redundant, and I don't want the show to become too redundant.
And it's nothing personal or anything, but
No, and there's a lot of people that have said no at this point that, I'm not going to reveal that. But, I will reveal, I saw Matt Laberto this weekend, who was Jaden on Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah.
And and he was like, I just don't remember enough. He's like, I'd love to do it, but I'm going to end up not being able to answer any questions. And I was like, I totally understand. So, again, that's why certain people have not been on the show, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But let's celebrate what we've done, Steve.
I mean, you're mentioning reaching out to people. You worked your ass off getting in touch with so many people. The amount of work you did, because a lot of it was your peers, people you knew, people you just texted.
Yeah, some were very easy, honestly.
And then there's people we've been recommended some folks by our fans, and you were able to contact these people. But then just the amount of work you did just using every website imaginable, tracking down these names, corkboard,
oh my God,
yarn strings and all that. And there's nothing, I think there's not, I would feel proud if I was you, because how many episodes are we going to have?
Thank you. Over 80 episodes. I think over 90 when it's fully done. Some are talk back, the talkbacks with Darren and I, but right. What's so crazy is that even this weekend, you're saying you did all this research, and thank you for acknowledging that. But then all of a sudden this weekend, someone shows me a poster And it says that someone named Nick Stellit was the original Pokédex, and I can't necessarily find all this out. You know what I mean? Like, and he has an Instagram page or so, and I'm like, oh crap, am I gonna have to now add him to the list? So like every weekend, literally, there is another thing that happens,
right? Where
I'm like, oh, I better dig into this. So while we were saying like this is kind of the end, we know it probably won't be. But all of a sudden, like, someone's sitting at my table. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to write down that name. And I'm Googling this guy, and they're like, okay, what? Okay, weirdo.
Was it just like someone's signature, and you're like, who's that? And they're like, oh.
No. So this guy was getting all of the Pokemon cast, but he had this poster that had it was a really interesting poster, but basically on the bottom of it, it said cast, and it had like 5 cast members, and it was, Ash, Misty, Brock, the Pokédex, and like the Pokemon narrator. Like, I think it was like those 5 names or something.
Yeah.
Which is a strange list. But also, like, that is not a name I have ever heard or seen. But, like, on his Instagram page, it even says, many characters from Pokemon. So now I'm like, well, because the truth is, even if I haven't found somebody, usually you guys are like, who the hell is this guy? So, I mean, like the Roger Parsons thing, I got to, so for those of you who don't know, and I just want to reiterate this actually, Roger Parsons, who was the narrator for Pokemon for a bazillion years and just, for a small time didn't do it. Lovely, lovely man. We did a panel together where he literally answered, and I videoed it, every single question I would have asked him on the podcast. It's on our YouTube page. I highly recommend watching it. I wasn't going to put him through an interview because I was like, why? I have his face telling us everything I wanted to know. So I got to tell him this weekend that I did that. So that was really nice.
Nice.
Oh.
What's up?
Oh, so Steve, the one thing I wish we had done sooner, when I wish we had thought of this, was like playing the sound bites for people. And I love that you've been helping us do that lately, like finding those crazy. You're amazing and fast at it, and it's so cool. I wish
part of it was just already like watching, like it mostly like One Piece, obviously, but like
You're kidding,
because I previously had clipped so much of that stuff, so I was like, "Oh, I know I got this." With David Lapkin, that was kind of just like, "Oh, I know I got these clips handy. Give me a second."
That was fun, and the funniest part was like we posted David Lapkin's. When I posted about it on Instagram or Blue Sky or something, someone wrote like, "But I thought he played Mr. Whatever," and I was like, "Listen to the episode." Like. Really?
Well, that's the problem.
I know.
Like a tip for anyone out there: just reading the headline of an article doesn't mean you know the complete context of the article.
Oh my god! Yes, thank you. TLDR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you responded nicely. You were like, "Well, listen, then."
Yeah, maybe we'll get a new listener out of it. I mean, and I just want to thank you guys out there who have stuck with us for this. I met someone so nice this weekend at a convention who said they like binged it so fast. Like they found out about it late and like binged like 50 episodes. And like I've done that with podcasts. So like once I'm in, I'm like, I gotta hear everything. So the fact that we were that for somebody, you have no idea how happy it made me. So
good.
Yeah. Oh, and I was looking at, so our Discord channel, which is available to Patreon subscribers, our Patreon will remain there because I know some of you still do like to listen without commercials. There isn't necessarily the week early option, but, if you want to listen commercial free. But our Discord channel will also still be up. And I was looking at, we have a running list in, there's a part of our Discord that's called Who's That Voice Actor? And someone was kind enough to pin an article at the top, and every time we figured out who a voice actor was that we weren't sure about or we disproved it, or there's almost 50 on there of things, and I like we've figured out so much stuff.
It's almost as many episodes,
right?
We've had.
Well, and I didn't even add like this last week. I realized that I finally can update wikis, sort of. I'm getting better.
Got the touch.
Yeah, I didn't know all this time that on the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki, it listed me as playing 2 characters I didn't play. I only played Mokuba on Yu-Gi-Oh. It was one of those weird shows where they never had me do incidentals. So they had me as listed as voicing the princess, that female that looked like Mokuba.
Right, but that wasn't you.
No, it was Casey Rogers. And yeah. And they also had me listing that little sprite thing that was with her. Mm-hmm. And so I updated it and I double checked it today and it worked. It stuck.
Nice.
The
powers of a god.
Yeah. So that's.
I guess it's just people over the years just, that care a whole lot about these shows. They're like, I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say this. One of the best things about this podcast is like, hey, at least we could be like a semi-official source and finally get to the bottom of a lot of these.
Right. We're the closest, I guess, we're going to get to accuracy.
Best you're going to get.
Yeah.
Unless someone finds all those timesheets or pay stubs.
Right. Well, I think it was Kristen that said maybe it was in her garage. And I'm like, when is she going to go through it? Like, I can't harass people, obviously.
No. This is not priority number 1. Hell, it doesn't even make the top 20. But
no, it just...
We appreciate the people that have, like, past guests that have, like, went back and found stuff for us.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think we got spoiled early on because we got some of those Funky Cops episodes and some of those Ultraman episodes. Yeah. And that was really early, and we really Lost Media hasn't been our strength, unfortunately.
No, but, like, giving it the college try at least. But it's just... I guess that was just
media. I've lost my Fighting Foodons DVD.
Oh, you mean...
He's digging it up. It's in right there next to your desk.
You mean this Fighting Foodons DVD right here?
Yes, that Fighting Foodons DVD. Which
You'll get it back.
Did you open it yet?
No.
You haven't...
I think it got to the point where I'm like, I can't be the one that opens this. So like, it's almost like either Tara's going to open it or this is going to stay preserved.
You can very much open it. I'm not.
You're getting it back.
I'm not that worried about you opening it.
You have to have the Fighting.
I should own it. That's another show we just haven't got into enough. But I mean, I don't know what more there is to say about it that hasn't been.
Because it's very short. It was just kind of. Yeah. That was 4Kids really trying to be like, oh, we could find another Pokemon easy, and it's like, ain't that easy, is it?
Yeah. I liked when Eric Stewart called Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon 90210. That stuck with me.
And I think that definitely helped 4Kids for sure, because it was like for people like me that were probably starting to age out of their demographic. Then it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, oh, this
we
is
got
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
Man.
You'll get the DVD back. We did exchange because back Tara bought like a bunch of DVDs with commentary tracks, and I listened to those way back in the early days of recording the show.
Yeah, there's still one I haven't listened to.
Yeah, because you bought, I think one of the,
one. No, I bought the right thing finally, but it's the one with Maddie, and I honestly, I wasn't ready to listen to it, and I don't know, like there's certain things I haven't done. Like I know I've been asked a lot if we're gonna do a tribute to Rachel Lillis, which obviously I would love to do. I'm not in the headspace to do that, unfortunately. I might be one day. Like, she deserves it, obviously.
Oh, of course, yeah. But, Maddie, there's been some time in between, of course, and Rachel still.
Yeah, that's still too new for me.
Right.
Also, I think, too, with Maddie, social media didn't exist, and we couldn't pull up YouTube clips back then. Like, I think there's more information on Rachel. More people were able to meet her. There's panels, and there's a lot more. You guys, if someone at home wants to learn more about Rachel, there's a lot of information, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, Maddie was just before that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. I wanted to address that also because that's something that does keep me up. That I'm like, I haven't done that yet, I don't have
no pressure, and no one should be pressured. And I don't think anyone's
no one's pressuring me. Someone wanted to know if it was too late to get something in for it, and I was like, oh no, we haven't even
Right.
That's not even begun yet. But I do get asked, like, oh, or, like, in a very sweet way, like, are you going to do it? And the answer is maybe. So, yeah, I don't know. There's just some stuff that's too tough. So,
because we're just like at this point where, like, we're wrapping, we're closing up for now, but it's kind of like we're on call. We're
on call. We're like doctors, Steve.
Yes, except
that is
we make far less money.
Just a little bit less.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Do you have any favorite episodes or moments from the podcast?
I've been thinking about this because I figured we'd talk about this. I definitely I don't want to play favorites because I don't want to hurt any feelings. But I do want to give like some shout outs. Like I think Mike Pecoraro was a huge help in the early days of this podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Mike for sure.
Great source of information, and he supplied us with some lost episodes of Ultraman, and just a wealth of knowledge
and
too.
Great memory. Like my favorites are and unfortunately are the people with the great memories because they were talking about it like it just happened. I always enjoyed hearing from some of these actors, especially some I've never seen speak before. I was always a sucker for anyone that worked in production, though. Like getting who else was like in the early days. I'm skimming through our episodes, but she was like, "Oh, here's a reason why we took out all English words." That was Crystal Marcus. Yes, she just it answered a question that you had for years.
Right, and that's like
in 2 seconds. Yeah,
and that was like one of my biggest goals with this show was like, I gotta find out some of these answers. It's just the nerdy stuff, but like finding out about like what went into like the website, a little bit of like the office culture. I think, because who was it? Like Ted's episode, because Ted worked in the office, and like just I think hearing them like printing out the
Ted Lewis he's talking about.
Ted Lewis, right? Oh yeah, sorry. Like printing out the mean things Shaman King fans were saying.
Oh my god, that episode
like
was funny. Ted is honestly one of my funniest friends. I was with him this past weekend, and I can't even tell you what he responded to a text chain that we had because it wouldn't be funny to you guys. But I spit out my food, when he responded because we were like all meeting up the next day. He makes me laugh maybe more than anyone. He's just but I liked the people that were actors and had other jobs. Like Darren and Eric Stewart, like people who kind of were on both sides of it. Chris Collet. I tell everyone whenever I meet people who are really into Pokemon cards, I send them right to the Joshua Izzo episode.
That one was a banger.
Amazing. I mean, because first of all, he had the whole Topps angle. Then he had a whole story about how he contributed to the live show, making the underwear for the Pokemon Live. And then he worked in the office. And then he went on to do all this amazing other work.
Right.
Like just the alumni of this. Chuck Patton.
Yeah.
I loved talking to.
I'm curious, like, what were some surprises for you, or like, kind of like, wow, I wasn't expecting this at all, or I don't know.
Honestly, the surprises were some people's backgrounds. Like like Matthew Sussman was a surprise to me. Like I had forgotten there was another Meowth before Maddie. And then to like talk to like him and to Jay Getty, like these graduates of Yale Drama School who are playing cats, and you know, like hearing their training and or the people that didn't train and fell into this and were so good at it, like a Carrie Williams who talked about how she didn't think she really knew what she was doing, but was so adorable on these shows, and some of the actor backstories, and then hearing what a lot of the creatives went on to do. And again, you know me and my subplot of living a creative life, and just hearing the different, stories, and getting Norman to be Norman Grossfeld to even be interviewed.
Yeah,
I still am so grateful. Right, I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Getting John Siegler was another huge get. Also because that's the thing. A lot of our interviews, he was mentioned so many times.
Right.
Also, the more episodes we do, someone would mention someone, and we'd bank that back. Oh, okay, we should reach out to this person.
Yeah. They would just mention names, and yeah. I liked some of the weirder episodes, like not weirder, but like less obvious interviews, like Tracy West, the author. Jesse Gomez, the neuroscientist. Like people will tell me about that study, and I'm like, yeah, I interviewed him. Like the guy, like they don't even know that I have an interest in that, and I'm like, no, we've met the guy. The guy, Jason Thompson, who worked at Viz. I've really enjoyed like the little side quests.
Yeah,
is that a thing that I could call?
Yes, yeah. It's that is that's true. What makes a video game experience so good is like the side quest. That's like your bread and butter. I don't know. No, not bread and butter.
Tamahiro and like I guess they'd be called filler episodes if it was like Naruto. But I don't like to think. I like to more think of them as side quests.
But I think it's good to also just because we talk so much with people that work there, but also we got to consider we got to factor in and think about why was this so successful, or what kind of effect did this have? So to get that perspective too, I think it was good to get outside perspective from fans, from.
Yeah, and also thank you to the listeners who suggested a lot of those people. There are people that would not have been on my radar. Dana Claverius, Gail Tilden, those were two that, again, did not work at 4Kids, but I think gave incredible insight.
Oh, yeah.
Just awesome. And, again, the Discord's been the folks in the Discord who've helped me name some of the episodes. They've made suggestions. They've helped me keep track of things. They've helped me find voice clips. I thank you so much because sometimes it does, you feel like you're working in a little bubble, and then when you get feedback, you're like, oh, okay, people are listening.
I mean, yeah, we definitely, anyone who's making anything wants that feedback at least, and we've had a really dedicated following, and we really appreciate it because this isn't. We're not getting, it's niche. We're not getting huge Spotify deals or anything, but I'm glad we're the people. It's cool. And part of my goal for doing this podcast is there should be a podcast about this, and I didn't even say it might as well be us because Terry, you're qualified. Me, I was like, I guess I know enough.
You're certainly qualified. Yeah. Well, I should go back a little bit and thank Zach, who is our other silent producer, I guess. He's in charge of he's the one who's in charge of the One Piece podcast that Steve is also on. And I had reached out I wanted to just find a podcast because I didn't know anything about making a podcast when I started this, I needed a partner.
Yeah, and you found us, and we're about as much of a podcast business as a lemonade stand is.
No, but the truth is I knew I wanted a co-host. I knew that from the beginning, and I had absolutely no idea who to ask. And as soon as I talked to Zach, he said, I got someone. Don't worry about it. I got it. And he was right. So thank you.
Yeah, you didn't
Zach.
have to worry about it.
Steve.
And me, I was just like, oh, I got another podcast for me.
I know. I'm sorry.
But
You
no,
knew
it
how
was
busy.
yeah. But it was. I forget if we've ever talked about it that much on the show proper. But for people that forgot, like this came at a time of the writer's strike, so I did have some availability.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And a part of it was also just like I wanted the show to exist, and I realized I'm like, yeah, I am the nerd who remembers plenty of stuff. I know my lot.
Well, don't sell yourself short. I mean, you have a great ear too, which is like I do not have. You can listen to a clip and be like, oh, I think that could either be this or this person, or like, I don't have that.
I find that so hard to believe because you're in the business, but
I know. It's annoying that I mean, listen, with my closest friends.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and with with certain actors that like I've heard a million times. Like if I hear them in a commercial, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Clooney or whatever. But like that clip, that character I just said that I didn't play, that was a British. That Mokuba looking princess, Princess Adina, was a little girl British voice. And it was Casey, but I wouldn't have figured that out. It's Casey doing a British, I just wouldn't have, Darren knew it in 2 seconds. He was like, oh yeah, it's Casey. Like,
just reminds me of a very me moment, slight tangent. From years ago, one of the One Piece movies was out in U.S. theaters, One Piece Stampede. And at this point, I had seen it a couple times in Japanese, and I wanted to see the English version. And I went with a bunch of friends to the Universal AMC. And like it immediately starts with a character, like the screen starts, it's black, but you hear a character like a sinister laugh before he starts speaking. This movie starts, it's 1 second in, the character starts laughing, I just turn to my friends, I'm like, this is the sub.
You knew that fast.
And they we went to see a dub screening and they accidentally screened the sub, which happens.
Yeah, your ear is so good,
yeah.
but that's pretty amazing.
But like it was such like a running bit for a while, just me just clocking that in a millisecond.
That's the sub. Yeah. Wait, speaking of One Piece, though, this is a little bit of a tangent. They've revealed Chopper's voice in the live action. What did you think? He's silent. Okay, that's okay. So you're not sure yet.
I'll say this, and you could determine whether or not you want to keep it in there.
Okay.
First of all, the design, I didn't flinch. I was like, okay. That's your live action Chopper.
Okay,
with the tone of your show and the look of your show, nothing about this design surprises me. Like it's not stupendous, it's not terrible. And I'm like, yeah. The voice though, I just thought I'm like, honestly, it's a choice. But I was just like, you could have hired any voice actor to do this better.
Yeah, it seemed okay to me. I liked it. I liked it, but I think in my mind, I thought, how cool if they get Lisa to do it.
Yeah.
I kept hoping one of my friends was keeping a secret. To be honest, because they listen. And again, I thought she did a good job with it, but it's an on-camera actress, and I was kind of like, what a cool opportunity for someone who specializes in voiceover.
Right.
That was more my feeling. Again, I actually thought it was good. I thought she did a really good job of being shy, but also Chopper, and you know what I mean. Like I did like it. I just kind of wanted a victory for.
I will say, like, I don't think the performance was bad. I just like the vibe they went for, like just that kind of voice. I was like,
yeah.
Well, I'm like with my experience of watching anime and cartoons, I'm like, I know a ton of people that could. Right. Do this kind of thing easily in their sleep.
I thought it was going to be more masculine sounding too, because based on what I heard they were looking for, I thought it. But I liked it. I thought it was cute. So
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like kind of cynical. I just thought, I'm like, they probably want an on-camera actress, so they could do press and all the junkets and all that. Yeah. And you know what? I thought, listen, I would love if they would,
if there were places in there where they did acknowledge the animated versions, like have somebody from one of the animated versions do so. I don't know. Not that, like the way The Last of Us did.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave Troy a role in it. Right. You know, I hope that kind of happens somewhere.
I think this might be straying too far off topic. And I think, like, I can't help but feel ecstatic for Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Yes. I was just having this who got to be Tails in the... Yeah.
And I think it was just because the Tails inclusion was last minute in that original movie. And they're like, oh, just get the Tails actor. But the fact that they kept her.
She went through a pretty rigorous audition process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
see.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I'm glad I'm not putting out the wrong information out there.
No, it's great. She's a very good friend of mine. And we've talked... The funny thing was that, sorry guys, this is off topic, but Sonic was a show that was at 4Kids.
Yeah.
And she called me once. She's like, hey, she needed like an accountant or like needed to know how to incorporate because she had a new job coming up. And she's like, I need to be a corporation and I was like, okay. And I gave her the information. And then I realized, oh, wait, she was talking about that. She just couldn't tell me what it was. I was like, that was the job she was alluding to. But she did. They auditioned a lot of people. They had her audition. They went back to her. And I don't think that's a secret that she auditioned. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just handed it. And
she rose to the top. Yeah. I think that's a fantastic story.
It's the best. I actually, on my drive with Amy Birnbaum, who's another interview I loved doing. For this show. I told her that story about, because she met Colleen really quickly at the convention this week. And I was like, do you know the deal there? And she's like, no, what? I was like, she did what we all kind of hope happens. And I told her the story and she was like, holy crap. And I was like, the best part is it couldn't have happened to a nicer person or somebody else, or somebody who was like a staple in the voiceover and anime industry and the dubbing industry. And that's like even more and like I'm like, she was top billed with Jim Carrey, like that insane. I
love a victory sometimes. I don't know, because I'm a voice acting nerd, you know. I just grew up on that stuff. I like it. I think it just dates back to just knowing what the entire voice cast was from The Lion King, and I think it just went from there.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. You actually gave me a weird segue that I wasn't even going to talk about.
Well, shoot.
That I didn't. So my next project is a different interview show, and Colleen O'Shaughnessy is my first guest who I've already interviewed.
Oh, nice.
Just coincidentally. So
what's the name? Can you say the name of this?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's been teased. So basically, my new project, because I've loved doing this so much, and I was sadly realized that this had to come to an end. It's one of my convention agents. His name is called Celebworks, and they represent all these amazing people. And I was like, we should just interview all these people. Why, you know, like we have access to them, and they can use the footage that from the interviews on their social media, and it's very convention focused in terms of like, hey, what's the coolest gift you ever got from a fan, or the weirdest thing you ever signed, and you know, there's some show and tell that happens, and it's been really fun. But Colleen was the first person I interviewed because, again, I think her story is so unique. So yeah, it's called Celebworks Insider, and it will be YouTube only to start. I think it will be out by the time this episode airs, but yeah, I'm like, it brings me back to, I'm sad that this is going to reach its logical conclusion, but I love learning people's stories.
Yeah, I'm glad that that's kind of waiting for you at the end of this, because and like, it makes sense. Like, you had experience doing interviews in the past. Like, you used to do it on, like on Fridays, like here and there. Yeah. But you have such like a knack for it. Like, you. Oh,
thank you. That's very nice.
I remember like the early days where you kind of just weren't sure how it was going to go, but you just, I don't know, like everything kind of just flows with you. And I think it's because like your relatability to your peers and just people in the industry, it just like all your questions, it seems to come, like you're inquisitive and it just comes natural.
Oh,
like
thank
it just
you.
everything flows, and
That's so. Shut up! You're making me blush.
yeah. I just think like
Thank you.
I think just I couldn't think of a better person really to do this.
You're very
because
sweet.
you
don't agree with the YouTube hater who told me that I was the wrong person to be doing this. We blocked him on YouTube. His comments won't show up anymore.
When was that? I think
That was a while ago. What a jerk.
was that like on Christmas? And I was like,
I feel like it was around a holiday.
I was just like Tara,
I know.
and I'm like, there's no getting through stupid.
With the Venmo debit card, you can Venmo everything. Your favorite band's merch? You can Venmo this. Or their next show? You can Venmo that. Visit Venmo.me/debit to learn more. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. The card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted. Venmo purchase restrictions apply.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are. Only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
Tell these people who are listening about all the 80 billion other podcasts you have, because I just plugged my new one, and we don't usually do that, but
Well, after this, I mean, because I think One Piece is going to be going long
the
into
One Piece podcast.
Yeah, One Piece podcast still going, because it's a podcast where we just cover the latest, manga chapter, anime or anything else going on. And that's why it's the train that's just never going to stop, so I'll still be on there.
Banana stand.
Yeah. Always money in the banana stand. And I still, I know One Piece is heading into its final arc, but no one knows for sure how long that could take. Not even the creator.
No.
So I'll still be doing that, and it's gotten a lot harder to do, but being an adult now compared to when we started, when we were a bunch of 20-somethings with nothing else to do.
So crazy.
Mm-hmm. But I'll still be there, and I'm one of the co-hosts of Sungwon Cho's Let's Play channel called ProZD Plays Games, which is it's also basically a podcast.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much. Yeah.
So
I gotta try to understand all of that. It's too late for me to become a gamer. No, I mean, gaming is unintuitive to me. Like when I tried to watch, Alejandro Saab's channel the other day, and streams. Like that's kind of what you're doing, but it is kind of a podcast.
It's weird because I think just because I'm always I'm at my desk working and I just need audio, and I think some people might watch Let's Plays like a hawk. When I watch Let's Play, sometimes it's usually just I treat it like a podcast. I mean, sometimes I'll look.
Oh, I see.
But
okay.
I think it's more like they're more like the vibe, and I don't know if this is like something you've experienced, but it's like going over to your friend's house and they're like, you don't really do anything, but they're like, hey, you're just hanging out. He might be playing, they might be playing a video game, and you're just like, it's like, you want to just come over and just chill with me?
You want to feel like I think a lot of this stuff became very popular during the pandemic. Like it reached a peak because people couldn't just go over to everyone's houses and hang out.
Oh, for sure.
But, and I think the first time I understood that's how, and I don't want to genderize this, but I think dudes specifically more than maybe females, and I don't want to, please don't at me, but the first time I understood this was when I saw the movie Swingers, and they were all hanging out and playing some kind of like hockey. I think it was a hockey video game. Like the way they were hanging out, and the way one would go to the bathroom and they would screw with this character. I don't remember. Like I understood it more.
Not all of us were living in the cool city of New York, and
well, no. Swingers was in L.A., Steve.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you?
I've seen bits of that movie like on Comedy Central.
Oh, my God. Watch that movie. It's such a great movie.
I remember it. Yeah.
I just remember seeing that scene made people gaming together make more sense to me.
Yeah.
How silly is that?
But now it's there's a lot, but now it's so much different now. Everyone's just like, and like people play games together, but the days of playing in the same room multiplayer, it's so far gone. But
see, those are the podcasts I like. Like, I like a podcast called Handsome, where it's just these three friends hanging out. Like, I hope that when you guys listened to this, you felt like you were eavesdropping on a conversation with some friends, and that you felt you were just the fourth friend in the room during an interview.
That's another reason why you were like the perfect person for this podcast, because it could have just been.
Stop saying nice things to me.
But it could have just been. And then in this show, you play this character. What was that like? You just, with your experience, you made it more of an interesting.
Thank you. I think that's just a result. It's just a result of being interviewed a lot and figuring out what I liked and didn't like when I was being interviewed.
But I think also with your experience, like, you knew what other people went through or looked through. Like, I think, like, if I like interviewed a bunch of like fellow storyboard artists or artists in general, I would know immediately some things to ask and be like, oh, like, what was this certain moment for you or something like that. Or
right. Like, there was one of the interviews I loved when you kind of got into the weeds with someone, but then I had to like be like, oh, wait. I don't know what any of those words mean. But I loved, it took me longer to say it because I was enjoying watching you two talk about something. And I love that there have been a couple people who went to the same art school as you did. Yeah. I won't keep you guys too much longer. I wanted to say thank you guys for listening. I wanted to say that please don't think this is the end. And if you have suggestions of guests, just know that we've hit up the obvious suspects.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody, like, let's say in your travels, you meet someone and they worked at 4Kids and they want to be on and they're too shy to ask, hit us up. We're always responsive at 4kidsflashback@gmail.com or any of our social media channels. You can still always buy merch with Steve's amazing logo.
It'll be there.
They'll be there, the hats and T-shirts and blah, blah, blahs. Steve, this is just the beginning of our friendship.
I'm happy to hear it. I think one of the things I've been saying to a few friends is like, it's going to suck not getting a chat with Tara every week.
I know. That's how I feel too. So we'll make sure that we keep checking in. We'll jump on a Zoom if we have to. Hopefully we'll live closer to each other at some point and we'll grab foods and things.
I don't know. It's LA. No one ever hangs out with each other.
I want you to understand that I just said that we don't live that far away.
No, that's the thing about LA. It's like, no, the actual distance isn't far, but then you got to factor in traffic, parking,
right?
All these other things. It's a weird city.
Totally, but we were also just talking about, like, before we end up talking before we record these things, and we're both possibly in the process of moving, so I think we might even end up living closer. So we'll see what happens. Great. Which would be so nice. And honestly, I want to be able to call you when I can't reach something because you are so much taller. I'm moving close to Steve so I can be like, I can't reach this thing in my closet. Can you change this light bulb? That is.
And I gotta think of what you could do for me. Like, what's something that I don't know.
Well, if you drop something, be like, I don't feel like bending over. You're so much closer to the ground. Could you please get that for me?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
No, I honestly, that has been such a bright spot about this whole thing. Is I think it took us a minute. I think we found our groove eventually, but like we were shy at first, and both of us, And
it kind of feels like I don't know what the right word would be. It's just like I can't help but think how poetic it was for me as a kid that just got into Pokemon and was watching it religiously, and then resenting a company for dubbing One Piece the way they did, to then being just given this responsibility to be the teller of the tales.
Well, and we've talked about this, but I think you and I were both very aware, because we work in this industry, that you can't just bash a company. You have to understand why they did what they did. And I think we were both very conscientious of not just praising or bashing, of telling the story in a I don't want to say like fair and balanced way, but like, again, being like, listen, this bugged us, but why did they do it? Or we loved this. How did this happen? And I think hopefully anybody from the company that heard it feels like we were fair. So
yeah, and it took growing up and working in the entertainment industry to, for me to like develop some wisdom and and some tact here. Like I'm glad this was an opportunity that came to me in my 30s and not in my 20s. It's
right. And I think, listen, I want to believe that Zach knew that when he recommended you, because I was like a little nervous, but when I knew you were an animation professional, because I think it's so interesting. Like I've watched some friends like bash shows and bash things, and then suddenly they start working in this industry and they realize the work that goes into getting anything produced.
And
so,
like, it doesn't mean you have to like everything. It's just, it's more like, I don't know. It's just like, I think for me, it's like, I kind of equate it to like how I feel about, like, I worked retail and like, because I worked retail, like, I'll just like, it's developed a certain amount of empathy for me. I'm like, I will never be a dick to anyone working, a minimum wage job, and like food service too, and all that. It's just, working in industry, it humbles me because there are things out of your control, or there are people calling shots that, might not be what you would have gone with, but it's just the job you're hired for. And nobody, I'm sure a lot of the people that came in and out of 4Kids, no one would have suspected that people would still be talking about it all these years later.
That's, but yeah. And again, that's, I think, what we go back to everywhere. And that's one of the most asked questions I get in life is, did you know Pokemon was going to be this successful? No. The answer is always, hell no.
There's people that were counting on it for sure, but...
If you think about at that time, how long had, like, let's say the Flintstones, right? Like, let's say they thought, let's be the next Flintstones.
Yeah.
That would... Yes, we still make reference to the Flintstones, but like there are conventions and tournaments and stores based on the Flintstones. So yeah, they were counting on it being a hit, but I can't imagine they ever thought
not
in
like,
their wildest.
Like it's culture at this point. Like there's people
like,
there's people that just like Pokemon Go is a social event for people.
Yeah.
It's and conventions too.
It's so many things. But again, like stores, like it has things in theme parks. I don't know. It's so much bigger than all of us. I think in the Jay Getty interview too, like I really appreciated him being honest about like being like, what the hell is this stupid thing?
Yeah.
And then realizing, and I think it takes... Honestly, I think it takes watching it with a kid at least once to understand their reaction to it. Yeah.
And I think like if you made it this far along into the podcast or if you listen to every episode, and one thing I'll stress too, it's like, don't take this personally, but sometimes a job is a job.
Right. And I think, we learned that, all of us. We've all learned, I think.
I think the David Moo episode, I don't want to go back to naming episodes, but I think that is a crucial episode to listen to where it's like, hey, sometimes, the decision's made. It's just, it's people making decisions and you're hired to do something.
Yeah. I think it also goes back to our episode 1 with Michael Hagney that we had limited information. He had no idea what was a recurring role when he would assign them to people. Yeah. And I think that's what the David Moo, you're like, okay, do this voice or this accent. And again, you kind of didn't think people were going to analyze this stuff. Or like, why does Joey have an accent and his sister Serenity doesn't? Like, no one thought would be analyzing this.
It's like... how come this, Death is edited out, but then Death is mentioned this, and it's...
Right. Or, also, I was thinking about this recently. Why is kidnapping allowed in the episode? No one thought, like, maybe kids will be scared if they keep seeing Mokuba get kidnapped.
It's the most traumatizing thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty traumatizing. Yeah, funky cops had guns. I'm gonna say it till I die. Not enough funky cops. Thank you to everyone who has listened to any of this nonsense. And thank you to Steve. Thank you to Megan Hollingshead and Darren Dunstan.
Yes, I want to give them a shout out for filling in for me when I couldn't be here. They're great. They're awesome. It's been a pleasure to get to know them.
We do miss you when you're not here, but
of course.
Yeah. They're fun to make fun of.
Yeah. And I'm fun to make fun of too. So.
And we're not going to say catch you next time. We're going to say see you soon or something. What should we say at the end
it's
of
funny
this?
because we're talking about the early days when, we kind of first coined that phrase and I kept messing it up. And I've had this Post-it note.
He's holding up the Post-it.
Attached to my monitor for our entire run.
That's hilarious. Don't throw it out. But wait.
I won't throw it out, but it says.
We'll catch you next time. But what did you say instead of that? Like, what couldn't you remember about that?
I don't know. I'll have to go back into stuff. It's like, hey, catch you on the next one or something like that. I bet I would said something like that. But then I wrote it down and then I just it's
hilarious.
About like a few episodes in, I knew what our closing phrase was, but I just kind of liked. I'm like,
don't throw that out.
Yeah, but
ever.
I knew. I'm like, like we're not gonna be doing this show forever. I want to keep this here, and then like when we're when we're finally wrapping it up, I could just be like, all right,
rip it up.
I'm not gonna rip it up, but it's symbolic where you take it down.
Steve has a scrapbook. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe for this episode, because again, we might be back. Maybe we together say...
It's not goodbye.
It's not goodbye, but we will... Catch you next time. Oh, that's terrible. Let's do it again. We will.
We will.
Catch you next time. 4Kids Flashback is a production of Maji Media, hosted by Tara Sands and Steve Yurko.
Producers are Zach Logan, Tara Sands, and Steve Yurko.
For more information, go to 4kidsflashback.com. That is the number 4. And if you worked at 4Kids and have a story you want to share, please email us at 4kidsflashback@gmail.com.
You can find us on social media at 4Kids Flashback, and to listen early and ad-free, head to patreon.com/4kidsflashback. For podcast merchandise, find links on our website and Linktree.
As they say on every podcast, if you liked this show, please subscribe, rate, and review, and tell your friends, or 4. If you want to check out other Maji Media podcasts, go to Maji, MAJI.media. Thanks for listening.
Hi, it's Ashley and Jess with Wellness Reality Check. We are 2 health practitioners, moms, and best friends trying to navigate the world of holistic health in a balanced, productive way that brings health to our lives instead of dogmatic extremes. We'll be breaking down health trends, interviewing your favorite health influencers, and always keeping it real. We hope this podcast brings listeners back down to earth, providing a dose of reality in the often idealized world of health and wellness.
Wellness Reality Check. Follow the show now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or at wellnessrealitycheck.com.